Hey there, Kyle Sasser here, and today we're talking about the way lock boxes should be. Now, sure you've seen these on the front of homes for sale. This is probably one that you've seen considerably. So this is a combo box, but we're going to talk about lock boxes. You wouldn't think there would be a lot of difference between this. After all these things are supposed to do is provide a key to get in the house, right? But the honest truth is, there is a world difference between an electronic lockbox and a combo lockbox. So much so that I only use electronic lockboxes. So the first problem with the combo box here is one of security. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put a video in the corner here. And basically what this is I had a client that bought a house and the listing agent refused to go out and get the combo box off. And so, they called me and said, hey, I'm going to cut it off. I was like, I will come and take it off in short order. So I drove out there. And as you can see, basically with a little piece of soda can, you can pick this lock in about 2 to 4 minutes, depending upon how practiced. Well, if you're really practiced, you can do it under a minute. I usually take 2 to 4 minutes there. So we'll have that rolling down in the bottom. You can see how long that takes me to do. So these are super insecure. The reason you see these is they are cheap. This one is about $15. You can program it with your own code. You put it on the door, you put a key in there. Everybody kind of knows how to use it. Easy peasy. There's other ones, these super old ones that I'll show you an example of that just has letters on it with a dial. I can't believe people still use these things. But yeah, basically any combo box is super insecure. They're also insecure in the fact that you don't know who has that code. Because it is just a code, that combination could end up in anybody's hands. Buyer's agent could give it to their client. They could be there without the buyer's agent. It could be someone who could just pick one of those pretty quickly and they just open it up and now they're in the house looking around. And despite, pointing out like some nefarious actions, you can't even know when people who are supposed to be there, if they have actually seen the house. So, if somebody books an appointment to show your house, you don't know if they've ever actually been there to show it because you do not know when and who accessed that box. This is a central lock, and there's also another one that you may see around, the Supra box, which is blue. The central lock here has buttons on the front. It's got a little bit more functionality than the Super key, but both electronic lock boxes both basically do the same thing. So with this, to access it, you either need to be registered with the local real estate board. You also need to have the app on your phone or a wireless key. Or in the case of the central lock here, I can provide you with a one-time combo code to get in. For example, if someone doesn't have the key or if a contractor needs to get in or something, I can send them a one-time code and then set a time limit on that to expire within, a few hours to, a day or 2 or 3. So with this lockbox, I am able to see everyone who has accessed this key when this was opened and when it was closed. So then I can follow up with the agents and see what they thought of the house, if their buyer is interested, if there was any feedback. Additionally, because I have that log and that record, if we do a price adjustment, I can reach out to everyone that has shown the house and let them know that we have adjusted the price. There's a secondary benefit to using these versus the combo box. So with the combo box, you can't limit access, which kind of sounds like what I've already talked about, but it's a little different. So with the electronic lock boxes, once it goes under contract, I can set a new code without having to go out and reset the combo on this or touch it with the phone. I can reset the code on this, so basically only authorized people, even if they have seen the house before, only authorized people are able to access the key and access the property. I can also set up access windows. I can set this box up to only open within a certain hour window. Typically I do it from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. But there might be particular cases where maybe there's someone staying at the house in the morning. And so I can limit accessibility to this key in that morning time period. So we have a definite access window. Another major problem with not knowing who has accessed or come and gone or used this box and accessed this key is keys go missing. It has been a few times where I have had a buyer's agent schedule an appointment. They go out to the house and then they call me and they're like, there's no key in the box. And at that point, if you have a combo box, you're like, I have no idea who that would even be. You basically have to like call everyone who has scheduled an appointment with that box, trying to go back through to figure out who took that key with them. And sometimes you just never find them. With this, I can tell who was the last person to access it, and it also provides me a link to call them immediately. Part of the feedback option of this, but it also comes in handy when the key goes missing. And usually I call them and I'm like, hey, listing agent for 123 Main Street, the key's not in the box. They're like, oh man, I was wondering what house this key was for. I showed 6 properties yesterday and I accidentally kept it in my pocket. Thank you, I'll run it over there right now. Much easier solution. And kind of the final piece here is this is all relatively inexpensive. Now the combo box is definitely super cheap. They are like $18 was the last one I bought. But honestly, agents forget them so often that I have like 8. I have 8 of them now, 3 of them within the last 12 months. So those are free or $18 if you actually have to buy one. The Central Locks and the Super Boxes are inexpensive. If you have to buy them, they are maybe $100, $150. Which in the grand scheme of things, when we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of home and valuables, and also running an effective business, $150 is chump change, to put it politely. So something as simple as providing a key to someone, there is basically kind of the lowest common denominator way of doing it, and then there's a way that provides superior professionalism and ability to follow up and sell the home. I would never put a combo box on the house as the primary means to getting into the home. Secondary follow-up on this is, so a lot of times if there is an electronic lock on the house, one with the numbers or something like that, a lot of homeowners are just like, oh, I can just set that up to provide access. That's basically the same problem as the combo box. There's not really too much of a way to know who specifically is coming and going. It does solve the key getting lost problem, but again, the electronic lockbox is still a far superior option. So that is the way lockboxes should be. We actually do put this much thought into every aspect of real estate. If you would like to experience the way real estate should be, would love to help you out. You can simply reply to this if you got it in email, or there should be a link in the description down below that will take you to our contact form, or our scheduler to book a phone call. Thanks again. My name is Kyle Sasser, and I'll talk to you soon.